National champions, over-the-top football culture, the color blue, Sambas, Canada Goose, Lululemon, every fucking day. These are just some of the aspects that describe one of America's most famous HBCUs, the University of Michigan.
Is this nigga serious?
You can't keep getting away with it! You can't keep getting away with it!
Holy shit, I almost forgot U of M's most important descriptors. Spineless, cheater-filled, unprofessional, and fraudulent. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Today, I'm going to be venting about two of my biggest frustrations with this university. Now, don't get me wrong. I absolutely adore being a student here. It's truly been an incredible experience. Like, I really die about this shit. Fuck, nigga, we bang blue. This is for the school. I'm not in like a Crip or gang-affiliated way. I'm a civilian. However, that doesn't mean that I'm unable to criticize it or call it what it is sometimes. Fucking garbage. Before we get started, just like the video. Help me out. Just do it. And if you like a lot of my videos, subscribe, dickhead. All right, this guy and these policies. Some of you may not know this about me, but I'm a nigga. I said I'm sorry. I know I'm working on it. It's been a hard road. I'm trying to bleach my skin. With that being said, the topic of DEI and broader systemic change based on race kind of directly impacts me, and it's something that I care about. So when I see my university pedaling back on DEI initiatives because of the threats of suspended federal funding, I'm raising an eyebrow. But guys, wait, everybody calm the fuck down. We gotta cut them some slack. Maybe a huge portion of their revenue comes from government funding and contracting work, so they had no choice but to—
Oh my goodness!
Well, shit. I see DEI initiatives as a representation of people trying to strengthen civil rights in America. So for the university to sidestep those initiatives with that type of magnitude to save 12% on revenues, nigga, don't lie to me. There's definitely an ulterior motive. Because of how easily and fast the university switched up on DEI, it tells me that they were just waiting for an opportunity to drop the act, be more like Harvard. But brings me to another point people in the university make against DEI initiatives. A lot of DEI detractors bring up how we need to return to a merit-based system. I 100% believe in the ideology that a person should pull themselves up by their own bootstraps, and those that work the hardest should be rewarded for their work. However, I also know and realize that different people have different barriers, and a lot of those barriers can come from things people can't control, like their race, gender, and sexuality, which make them targets for discrimination. Look at the wage gap. Look at the people who are being hired and the people who aren't being hired. Look at how that affects multiple generations of people up until now. In order to level the playing field in the future so that we can have as close to a 100% merit-based system as possible, DEI programs. The whole argument that DEI programs don't promote a merit-based system is dwarfed by the fact that we're having this conversation in the first place. Once again, seeing how easily my university and other businesses have changed course shows that systemic oppression is dead ass the default mode in America, that we're not on a level playing field. It literally proves why we need whole ass programs, offices, and initiatives to promote DEI. For us to beat the extremes of the system, we need to go to the extremes. God damn, this video got super serious, super fast. Play the Yes King audio or some equivalent. All right, we covered the policies. Now let's talk about this guy. This is Sensei Ono, the president of the University of Michigan. I think this is so funny and interesting. Instead of bringing joy to all the people that cross his path like the real Santa, Ono just makes you want to snap his weak ass glasses in half. Sensei Ono has what we like to call in the situationship industry an avoidant attachment style.
No! God, please, no!
When things get tough, he either hides or runs away. Remember how I said that he was the president of the University of Michigan a couple of seconds ago? I lied to you. You have been perfuffled, which is a word I just made up to say you have been conned, dumbass. Sensei Ono will now be going to the University of Florida because he loves the momentum that the university has for the future. I'm just gonna... So here's what that sounds like to me. That momentum he is referring to is the rejection of, quote, woke indoctrination. I see this as Ono being tired of facing criticism, so he's chosen to run away. He says that when he gets to Florida, he will reject ideological capture, uphold the rule of law, and create a culture where rigorous thinking and open dialogue flourish. You know what, my nigga? Good luck with that. So remember when you encouraged open dialogue during the GEO strike by having protesters detained outside of the restaurant? Oh my God, what about the time you upheld the rule of law and created a culture of rigorous thinking by pressing felony charges against pro-Palestine protesters, even though there was no evidence of violence, then losing that case and having the charges dropped? I mean, this isn't really surprising. He has a history of being spineless. After doing a little bit of research and looking into Sensei Ono's past, back when he was the president of the University of British Columbia, he removed John Furlong from speaking at an event because he allegedly abused indigenous children at a school in Burns Lake. However, Santa ended up reinstating the speaker, not because the allegations were allegations and weren't proven as a fact at the time. No, he did it because the university donors were upset. Yeah, bro, that's my type of president. Fire. Now that I got that out of my system, we can talk about the Ross School of Business. Once again, it's been cool as shit going to the school. Highly recommend it. It's one of the top business schools in the United States. It is one of, if not the best, target schools for finance recruiting. So surely there would be some high level of sophistication and professionalism when it comes to exams. Why the fuck would you think that? Dumbass nigga. Look, usually the exams are fine. Good job, Ross. But when they're not, the situation seems so ridiculous and avoidable. Two specific exam events that really get my blood boiling. Yeah, we'll go in order by how much they piss me off. Least severe first. During my sophomore year, I had to take a class called Technology and Operations 301. It was a stats class that utilized Excel. Cool. What about the exam? Ladies and gentlemen, let's go over some of the rules for this class's exams. Open notes, open book. Okay, that's pretty standard. All right. Many classes do this. Open internet. Open internet. Open AI. Guys, lock the fuck in. No, the staff thought about the use of AI and put a contingency in place for people not to use it. Asking nicely. Obviously, a bunch of stressed out young adults who are trying to keep their GPA high to secure internships won't cheat on exams given the opportunity. The thing that pisses me off the most about this is that we've used lockdown browsers for other business exams before this one. I've also learned that these lockdown browsers have spreadsheet functionality as well, so why not use it for this class? Additionally, the proctor, aka some fucking student, was paid to apparently sit on his ass for 1.5 to 2 hours. Yeah, I know I sound like a fucking Karen right now, but what makes me so mad about the cheating on Ross exams is that it directly impacts the people who didn't cheat, because we are graded on a goddamn curve, which means the threshold to say get an A or B plus becomes much higher, making it harder for the non-cheaters to secure good grades. And when you have industries as competitive as finance or consulting, where you need to keep your GPA high to increase your odds of securing opportunities in those fields, it's very disappointing when your school doesn't take the proper measures to reduce unfairness or unprofessionalism. I am now going to transition into the next example. This is my way of smoothly transition MO300, the class where serial killers learn to blend in, aka behavioral theory and management. So remember when I said that this was an order of how much the event made my blood boil? This was my reaction to hearing the changes made to the midterm exam.
My bad. Yeah. Bro, I'm about to fucking tweak! Sorry. sorry.
That video was from November 2024, and to this day, the midterm exam still gives me PTSD. Not because the exam was hard, but because the exam was leaked. To keep it long story short, there is a business major that people can take and a business minor. The business minor's equivalent of MO300 is MO302. The MO302 exam took place before the MO300 exam, and from my understanding, some people in some fraternities or sororities took pictures / videos of the exam and sent it to their frat brothers / sorority sisters who were taking the MO300 exam later that day. Why were both of the exams the exact same? Who fucking knows? But that's why I think it's unprofessional. Why didn't you just take the extra time to make the exams a little bit different if you were going to have them on the exact same day? Actually, to an extent, they did do that, because the MO300 exam wasn't the exact same. I apologize, I'm in the wrong. Let's give them an applause, everybody. Good job. Right, the MO300 exams had 11 questions that weren't the same on the MO302 exam. Cool. So to make things more fair, the department had to reweight the midterm and final exams. So this ended up meaning that the midterm that I took, the one that I spent time studying for, ended up being worth 20% of my grade to 4.4% of my grade.
Hey, y'all, come look at this.
Have you ever taken an exam that was worth 4% of your grade? A lot of the criticisms are mixed in with jokes to make it more entertaining, but I genuinely do want to see the school flourish because I view it as home. It's a great place to learn. This video is super cool if you want to learn about the basics of investing but don't know where to start. It's also kind of funny. Peace.